Welcome everyone, join us today as we take a journey through the life of John Fred, the Louisiana-born musician who blended soulful rhythm and blues with rock and roll. Best known for his chart-topping hit Judy in Disguise. So let's dive in. John Fred, born John Fred Gurria on May 8, 1941 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the United States of America. He was zodiac sign Taurus. Born to Fred Gurria, a former professional baseball player with the Detroit Tigers organization, and Miriam Chason, he grew up in Baton Rouge with his two sisters, Anne Gurria Kleinpeter and Kay Gurria Begay. At the age of 12, during the early days of the civil rights era, John developed a deep love for black music. Hearing Fats Domino's 1953 hit, Going to the River, became a transformative moment that ignited his passion for music. The sound was a stark contrast to the mainstream hits of the time and left a profound impact on him. A natural athlete, John excelled as a star baseball and basketball player at Baton Rouge's Catholic High School, standing at 6 foot 5 inches tall. His initial aspirations were in professional sports, not music. However, in 1956, at age 15, his musical journey began unexpectedly when he stepped in as a singer at a party after the lead vocalist of a local band lost his voice. His impromptu performances of Domino and Little Richard songs earned him a spot in the group, where he started performing for $8 a night. The group underwent various name changes before settling on The Playboys, inspired by the premiere issue of Playboy magazine. They later became John Fred and the Playboys and eventually John Fred and his Playboy Band. Their talent caught the attention of teen dance promoter and budding record producer S.J. Montalbano. Montalbano arranged a recording session at Cosimo Matas's studio in New Orleans after hearing the band perform Shirley, a song co-written by John and bandmate Tommy Bryan. With backing musicians who had just played for Fats Domino, John recorded Shirley, which peaked at number 82 on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1959. Following its success, John appeared on Alan Freed's TV show The Big Beat in New York City. Dick Clark also invited him to perform on American Bandstand, but John declined, choosing instead to focus on playing for his high school basketball team during its state championship run. In hindsight, his decision may have impacted the song's chart performance, as its success could have been greater with the added exposure. In the spring of 1959, John and the Playboys released Mirror Mirror, featuring the Jordanaires on backing vocals, but the single failed to chart. Their subsequent releases, Good Lovin' and Down in New Orleans, also met with commercial disappointment. Following these setbacks, the group's contract with Montel Records was terminated, and John enrolled at Southeastern Louisiana University, where he studied and played basketball from 1960 to 1963. After graduating, John reconnected with original Playboys tenor saxophonist Mickey Coerver to re-form the band, bringing in new members. While attending Baton Rouge's Catholic High School, he had met guitarist Lynn Ouasser, who later joined the group. In 1964, singer and pharmacist Rocky Robin financed a recording session for John Fred and the Playboys at La Louisiane Recording Studio in Lafayette. During the session, a portion of the band recorded a dynamic medley of John Lee Hooker's Boogie Chillin' and Frankie Lee Sims' Walking with Frankie. The track was completed in a single take with Fred, Joe Michelli on drums, Don Chesson on bass, and Lynn Ouasser on guitar, though the recording was set aside and largely forgotten. Shreveport record shop owner Stan Lewis leased John Fred and the Playboys' track Boogie Chillin' for his new Jewel Records label. The song gained traction thanks to gritty-voiced DJ Wolfman Jack, who frequently played it on his powerful border blaster station in Mexico, howling over the track. The band's profile grew further when they were renamed John Fred and his Playboy Band to avoid confusion with Gary Lewis and the Playboys. Years later, when John met Elvis Presley backstage at the International Hotel in Las Vegas, Presley turned, pointed at John and said, "John Fred and the Playboys, Boogie Chillin'," one of Elvis's favorite songs. In 1966, Lewis's Paula Records released the band's self-titled debut album. After guitarist Lynn Ouasser left to attend Louisiana State University, saxophonist Andrew Bernard joined as John's main writing and producing partner. Their collaboration led to the 1967 release of the soul-pop single Up and Down, which initially climbed the R&B charts before being pulled after the industry discovered Fred's race. This prompted the band to pivot toward pop music. The group's follow-up single, Agnes English, showcased a blend of R&B soul and British invasion pop influences. Later that year, John and Andrew Bernard co-wrote Judy in Disguise with Glasses, a playful parody of the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Released by Paula Records, the song became a major hit, dethroning the Beatles' Hello Goodbye from the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 in January 1968. Judy in Disguise sold over 1 million copies and earned a gold disc. However, the band's novelty label limited their long-term success. Their follow-up single, Hey Hey Bunny, peaked at number 57, and they never returned to the Hot 100. The group's next album, Permanently Stated, embraced the experimental style of 1967 albums by the Beatles, Moody Blues, and Rolling Stones. Featuring orchestral and choral arrangements by Bernard, the record aimed to showcase the band's creativity and technical skill. Despite its ambition, Permanently Stated failed to find an audience. Following creative disputes, Andrew Bernard left the Playboys after unsuccessfully attempting to replace John Fred as the bandleader. John and Lynn Auerser reunited to create the 1970 album Love My Soul, but despite being released on the major label Uni, it was not commercially successful. Shifting his focus, John began producing recordings for other artists, including notable names like Irma Thomas and Fats Domino. In 1982, he became vice president of Baton Rouge-based RCS Records. Over the years, John received numerous accolades, including induction into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame in 1991 and the Louisiana Music Living Legend Award in 1999. His career diversified into jingle writing for brands like Greyhound Bus Lines, Band Deodorant, and the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. He also composed and recorded Baseball at the Box to honor Louisiana State University's baseball team. Alongside Joe Stampley and Gigi Shin, he co-founded the Louisiana Boys, releasing a self-titled LP in 1997. John released 2 solo albums, I Miss You All in 1999, and later, Somebody's Knockin' in 2002, which featured collaborations with longtime partners Bernard, Auerser, and Brian. Beyond music, he dedicated time to coaching basketball and baseball at Baton Rouge's Catholic High School and remained an active supporter of the local music scene. In 1999, John launched a radio show, The Roots of Rock and Roll, on WBRH-FM in Baton Rouge. The program grew a loyal audience, celebrating classic rock and roll and showcasing John's encyclopedic knowledge of the genre. A fixture in his community, John's passion for storytelling and his personal connections to musical legends left a lasting impression on his listeners. Sadly, on April 15, 2005, John Fred passed away, aged 63, after a 5-month hospital stay due to complications following a kidney transplant at Tulane University Hospital in New Orleans. His memorial mass in Baton Rouge was attended by Louisiana Governor Kathleen Blanco, former bandmates, and hundreds of friends and fans. At the service's conclusion, his first producer, S.J. Montalbano, offered heartfelt parting words. If there is a rock and roll heaven, he's there jamming with Slim Harpo and Ernie K. Doe and Otis Redding and Jackie Wilson and Sam Cooke. Maybe one day we'll look up in heaven and see John Fred in disguise with glasses. He was survived by his wife, Sandra, a son, Kevin, Kevin's wife, Jody, and a grandson, John Sterling Guria. And there you have it. Though he passed away, John's legacy lives on through his unforgettable songs and contributions to the golden age of rock and roll. His life was a testament to the enduring power of music, creativity, and individuality. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on your favorite artists. Take care and bye for now.